nice and such an honor to be here. Thank you. I hate talking about myself, so this is not the event for me. But I published my first book in 2003, and I've published 4 books of poems and a novel as well. And I suppose my work, as much as I can kind of stand outside my work, which is always difficult, I think, is part of the lyric tradition, I think, in English poetry. I never know what that means quite, but I think it means that I'm interested in the tradition of English poetry, and I'm interested in kind of having a conversation with it and subverting it to a certain extent. So my work tends to use traditional forms increasingly, kind of over the years, and I'm interested in the anonymous tradition particularly. So I'm interested in the ballad and the nursery rhyme and nonsense. Yes, and the Versopolis publication kind of draws from the 4 books of poems so far. Eviction. Barefoot, they've entered the outermost place. She covers her breasts, he hides his face. Behind them stands the light-filled grey stone arched city doorway. The unworked earth is parched. Their shadows lag and elongate, longing towards the shade. Everything waits to be suffered, as now the garden's streams and orchards lie outside their lives in dreams. He howls into his hands, her upturned foreheads smooth and white, her small mouths tearing wide. They are, after all, only adequate and flesh, and grieve at the easily understood threshold of grief, from where one, fully dressed and armed, shoos them indifferently into the west.
I live and work in Malmö, Sweden. This book is what's been translated in the Versopolis project. It's called Hamnen, the harbor. It's about a newly built residential area by the sea, almost like a gated community, kind of. Just like Carmen, I like to work in like in the mix of different art forms. So this is kind of a decoding of the architecture in that type of area, like a new modern type of, I don't know if you have it here, but just by the sea, when it's like the big windows, the square houses, you want to like push nature into your lives, but still you want to control everything. Do you see what I mean? Yeah, so that's what I've been investigating. And I also work with music, so that is also a part of, and I work with literature in my music as well. So my next book is going to take place in a fast fashion store, and is going to the lyrics of Rihanna, Lana Del Rey, Lykke Li, but also Sylvia Plath and Anne Sexton, and their use of writing about death actually as a feminist strategy in late capitalism. And I'm really happy to be here as well.
En del hus vaknar långsamt efter att människorna har börjat klia och riva i parketten. De är lite större då. De har haft natten på sig att andas ut. De rymmer mer och tillåter mer kring 6:30 och drar skinnet åt sig efterhand som dagen lider. Något sånt hus fanns inte på glaciären. Där somnade husen aldrig. När de boende vaknade stod väggarna med uppspärrade ögon och väntade. De hade väntat i timmar. Dörrarna stampade i sina karmar. Arkitekten försökte förstå var skillnaden låg. Betong eller trä? Kunde det vara så enkelt? Radon, kanske linoleum? Arkitekten tänkte det kunde vara så att det behövdes lite mer av det ena eller andra. Arkitekten tänkte det kanske var ett slags skörbjugg. I ett av husen var fönsterkarmarna av sten. Slipad och tvättad men icke desto mindre sten. Arkitekten hade fått in klagomål. Fönsterkarmarna hade ställt till det. De förblev alltid kalla. Lyssnade på luften utomhus. Lydde den. De hörde dit fortfarande. Arkitekten insåg för sent att de aldrig skulle bli helt domesticerade. Så de boende torkade glasen i skåpen en extra gång fast de var torra för att det skulle bli hemtrevligt. Men husen knakade och de boende förstod att de inte skulle låta sig nöja så lätt. De boende strök sina kinder längs väggarna, men träet var oroligt. Fantomgrenarna ven och havet vankade av och an i diskmaskinerna. Tack. Relationen till ketchup skilde sig bland de boende. En del ryggade tillbaka vid åsynen. Andra tog ställning genom att ha en flaska i kylen. Att bete sig som folk. Barnen måste veta hur det smakar. Tack.
My name is Grzegorz Hetkarski. I hope I will not say any stupid thing, because usually when I'm a bit nervous, I'm saying a lot of stupid stuff. I'm a poet. I live in Freistadt Danzig, free city of Gdańsk in Poland. It's in the north of Poland by the sea, and it's a city of the Solidarity movement. When Solidarity movement was established, and Lech Wałęsa in some way crushed the communist system. On the other hand, the Second World War started in Gdańsk. On the other hand, Arthur Schopenhauer was born in Gdańsk. On the other hand, 30 kilometers from Gdańsk, there is a Stutthof concentration camp. It's a very mixed place, mixed with history, ideas, and I think, and with great, beautiful nature around us. And I think it's got an impact on my work, on my poetry. I'm a poet and a musician. And most of my music and poetry is committed to genocide, because the Poland is the territory where the biggest genocide in the history of our world took place. And so it's, in my opinion, one big graveyard in some way. And my aim, because my grandfather was a prisoner of a concentration camp, so when I was a kid, I was going with him on the walks to the museum. So for me, this was very natural and normal, not a traumatic in a way. I'm a kind of a fourth generation after that. So I think I've got a good distance to observe the situation, and my aim in the poetry and music isn't to blame anyone, but I would like to understand the people who were victims, the people who were murderers, and people who observed the situation. And yes, so my stuff is very pessimistic, but on the other hand, my soul is I'm just a clown. So it's very mixed, and but I think that because of this joyful part of my identity, when I write about hardcore stuff, it's not so pathetic. No, it's not so heavy in the way. And I think that important thing is that 99% of my poetry aren't my words really, but these are real words of the the murderers, of observators, and of victims. So I write in the manner of Edgar Lee Masters and Spoon River Anthology. It's kind of epitaph manner, and I really would like to bring the facts to the territory of a poetry, but I don't want to make the publicist stuff from a poetry. I would like to keep poetry to be a poetry, but it should be in the same way a real fact, kind of a brutality of fact, what Francis Bacon stated. And now I shut up. Thank you.
Leśnik Dance. Podczas wojny układaliśmy ciała jak drewno, ale już po wojnie układaliśmy w lesie drewno jak świeżo ścięte ciała. Świat. Poszłam z dzieckiem do lasu i razem z nim bezradna płakałam. Łzy ściekały mi z oczu, a dziecko wycierało mi łzy rączką i tak bardzo żałowałam, że przywołałam je na świat. Dać. Mówi kobieta, która tak długo nosiła w swoim brzuchu jajo. Jak dać mu na imię? Choroby i wirusy posiadają imię. Należy mu się imię. Należy mu nadać imię. Musimy go uspokoić, musimy go uciszyć i coś mu wreszcie dać. Danke schön. Thank you so much. Dziękuję bardzo.
She's extremely happy to be here, and it's a huge opportunity for her to be here.
Yo procedo, no, te lo voy a decir a ti, ¿no? Yo procedo del sur de España, de Andalucía, y procuro que en mi poesía estén presentes las raíces de ese origen y enfadarme también con ese origen. Y a partir de ahí surge mi poesía con un tono muy popular.
So she's coming from south of Spain, from Andalusia, and she's trying to, in her poetry, to keep all the time the roots of her land in her poetry, and her poetry comes from this land.
Asimismo, estoy bastante interesada en atravesar los géneros literarios, que no haya un género literario puro, sino que la poesía esté mezclado con aforismo y con narrativa.
So she tries all the time to mix poetry with aphorism, with narratives also, so to mix the things, not to be only in verse poetry.
Especialmente estoy interesada en los aforismos.
And especially aphorisms.
Y por último, trabajo bastante fusionando la palabra con otras artes, como la danza contemporánea o el cante hondo, el flamenco.
Okay, and she also tries to mix words and poetry with other arts like contemporary dance and cante hondo, that it's kind of song from south of Spain, from Andalusia, close to flamenco in a way.
En la misma línea coordino eventos que están relacionados con el arte contemporáneo y la literatura.
And she's also curator for events that are linking contemporary literature and contemporary art.
Creo que es suficiente como
And
introducción.
that's it.
Pecho mío, pequeño de piel marfil, transparenta el sagrado corazón que a veces se ilumina en el centro de la noche. Etología. Todos los animales sabrán bramar en el momento de mi carne. Cada cual a su alarido, su graznido, su relincho, el eco de ulular el lobo entre las peñas, el rebuzno de los machos en lo hondo de las cuadras, la batiente ala del rapaz por las almenas, el susurro sinuoso de la abeja que atraviesa el silencio de los prados, el roce contra el campo del vientre de la chicharra, círculo, siringe, abdomen, celo. Tú has perdido la voz criatural, también el olfato. En cambio ellos no olvidan. Todos los animales sabrán bramar en el momento de mi carne.